So I want to know if every participants have already finished of checking the list. If you have already finished, let me move to next step. Is there anyone who've already finished?
사람 괴롭히는
이게 제일 앞에.
아, 네.
네.
진짜 저분한테 물어보세요.
George.
Yes,
Yeah, good to see you.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Do you think that all participants they've already finished checking the list?
Yes, I think all
May I
is
move to
checking this.
next step?
Yeah, already did, I think.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so let me share a video clip about our digital media center that will help you to understand what's going on in KNOU. Okay, let me share.
South Korea's first distance higher education institution. We welcome you to Korea National Open University. We introduce you to the Digital Media Center, DMC, which develops KNOU's e-learning contents and is leading South Korea's lifelong learning to standards of excellence in distance education. KNOU's distance education consists of internet and TV lectures tailored to the courses as well as traditional face-to-face lectures. The Digital Media Center, first of all, develops and produces the highest quality educational contents, most of which are internet-based lectures. The center operates a TV station, the Open University Network, OUN, broadcasting general education programs across the nation for students and the public. In addition, it also operates the video conferencing lecture system, connecting the main campus and the regional campuses nationwide. OUN TV, KNOU's own broadcasting station, airs lecture programs and general programs for the public nationwide. General education programs on diverse cultures, art, and the humanities are aired through OUN TV for the goal of engaging participation in lifelong learning and can be watched via cable TV, digital satellite TV, IPTV, etc. The online lectures, which enable learning beyond time or space constraints, consist of instructional planning through pre-study, primary lectures, practice questions, reference materials, etc. to maximize effective learning. Also, diverse materials such as video, text, audio, animation, etc. are used and are being developed to increase visual and auditory effectiveness. Lecture development is the most important work of the center. Thus, the development process is based on rigorous subject analysis and planning, followed by lesson planning, instructional design, and design development, and is then completed using film, voice recordings, computer graphics, and animation. In addition, service is provided after undergoing thorough quality control management based on expert evaluations and feedback results. In this way, the carefully designed lecture development process was the first in the nation to earn the ISO 9001 certification and received international certification from the BSI, British Standards Institute, which establishes global standards. The two-way video conferencing lecture system enables face-to-face lectures, which enhances the quality of distance learning. connecting the main campus and 18 regional campuses with exclusive lines, and through high-resolution HD video, it is possible to allow direct questions and answers between professors at the main campus and students at the regional branches. Also, all lectures produced at the DMC are able to be accessed through the internet at the time of your choosing. And through the UKnow Plus mobile learning system, it is possible to have access to the lectures using diverse mobile media such as smartphones. Here we have the DMC Web Studio. We operate 5 studios and are recording a web lecture that is offered online. The VR Studio, as a virtual reality facility for the production of online lectures, features a virtual graphic system for a variety of learning outcomes and a high-resolution HD recording system. Here are TV Studios 1 and 2, where we create broadcast programs. Studio 1 records mostly TV programs and is equipped to seat 150 audience members in this spacious studio. It features a file-based HD recording system for the production of high-quality programs. Studio 2, using 3D virtual reality graphics, creates virtual sets using special visual effects and animation. The Dubbing and Mixing Studio features the latest equipment for audio recordings and the mixing of the music and sound effects necessary for online lectures and TV programs. The NLE, Non-Linear Editing Room, is responsible for editing and is designed with 13 rooms, with the final master editing taking place in the comprehensive editorial room. The DMC Production Management System is composed of a central operating room that connects each room in a network and a digital archiving system that stores contents. In each room, we operate a CMS, Content Management System, to manage contents that are produced and feature the latest facilities for providing management servers, central storage, and other services for the sharing of produced contents. True to its international certification status, the DMC is spurring the development of e-learning contents. The DMC is working hard toward the highest quality lectures and educational contents with courage and creativity. The peak education leader that sees the future first. This is the KNOU Digital Media Center.
So could you hear the voice of the video clip? Okay, that was the short video clip of the DMC introduction. So actually, what students watch is just a class. It's very simple and easy, but to produce a class, especially an online class, is not easy. What students can see is just the tip of an iceberg. So it's very small part. So today, what we want to share with you is what's going on inside of the water. So it's very complicated, but quite systematic. So if you understand well, just like producing a car, we can produce an education, an online classes using this kind of system. So now let me handle this mic to Professor Che. She will deliver you about the e-learning design, what we consider before recording.
Hello everyone, this is Young Chui. I'm a professor in the Department of Agricultural Science. My main major is protected horticulture, a bit different with this DMC work, but I participate in this project with Professor Bjorn. I'm very happy to understand what's going on with the international open universities and what most want to know, and things I obtained a lot of information with working with this project. So I'm very happy. And last year, the Professor Nara visited our university, and we had see each other, but because of the coronavirus, we didn't see each other for a long. So I'm really looking forward to see yours in Most someday. So I'm gonna visit the Mongolia someday in Most. Thank you. It's my turn. So I'm gonna give a talk about e-learning content design. The title itself is too huge itself. So I just have included some information about just what we need to consider before online lecture recording. So not all the story about content design, only about as a professor, what we needed to consider before online lecture recording. So prior to meeting with the producer for recording, I have to, by myself, I have to consider some few things. So I would like to introduce you to what I am thinking, what I am consider before online lecture recording, so particularly prior to meeting with the producer for recording. So preparation before recording, first we needed to choose resources. So actually we're gathering all the resources from previous courses and materials we have researched and our textbook and our own textbook we have produced in KNOU Press, but other press produced the textbook also I refer, and also online resources and journal articles. Also, I didn't wrote down in this slide, but I also use some statistic result from big data. Normally, the Dr. Kim provide some every year the statistic the result from the big data that in terms of students' satisfaction and what students have the outcomes of that each subject, what they have their grade. So I just think about the and also analyze that subject, also students' outcomes and students' encouragement. So after collecting all the resources, and then I prepare the PPT slide. But PPT slides normally provided by the DMC, the template, so that we can use our own template, but the DMC also have just basic template of PPT. So I prefer to use the template rather than made by myself. So I'm using that PPT template provided by DMC. And after that, so yes, the big example, we have our own textbook produced by KNOU Press. So for example, the book is Vegetable Science. I'm teaching the vegetable sciences. So I'm the main author of this book. So I choose some texts in the textbook that I think is important. So I choose some the text, and the visualize into PPT is more just as much as I can do. I try to visualize it because our students sometimes they feel bored reading the textbook, the contents. So I try to visualize, visualize the text into the PPT as much as I can do, so that we can deliver the content more efficiently. So we can see the video together. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is book. So about the vegetable sciences. So it's some figures but mainly the text. So I choose some important text and yeah. Hello. This.
Couldn't
Yep.
see any shared screen, only black.
Pardon? I can't hear.
We can't see any PPT or any video, only black screen.
화면 공유가 안 되는 것 같습니다.
Ah. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that. From the first, you can't see that from the beginning.
Yes, we didn't see any of the PPT.
Oh, okay. Sorry. 예, 처음부터.
닫아지지가 않아.
다 닫고.
처음부터.
네, 다시 공유해야 될 것 같아요.
요 화면이잖아요.
네. Can you see it now? Can you see?
Yes, now it's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, I explained about the first page, so I can pass it. Is it right? Sorry. And next. Yes, the preparation before coding. First, we need to choose the resources. So gathering all the resources from previous courses, materials you have researches, your textbook, online resources, or journal articles. So also I analyze the students' activities or outcomes and a grade from the last my course, the statistics result provided from the Professor Kim, that is from the big data analysis. So I referred all the statistics result as well. So gathering all the resources, for example, we have our own textbook produced by the KNOU Press. This book, can you see? That is Vegetable Science. So I'm the main author of this book. So all the books show see the contents, but sometimes students feel bored reading all the book. So I try to my best to visualize text that I think is important, the text to choose and deliver to the PPT, but as much as I can do, I do visualize the contents. Then the students understand more efficiently. So we can see the video together. That book have some figures and pictures, but mainly text. So sometimes student can't read all. So I choose one of the contents of the text and try to visualize in the PPT. This PPT platform is, I prefer to use the PPT template provided by the DMC. So I can make by myself, but I prefer to use the template provided by DMC. So I try to, as much as I can do, text, less text and visualize more the text into the figures and pictures, so students can understand the content more efficiently. So I use the textbook mainly for making PPT. I sometimes use also journal articles result, but mainly use textbook. That my own textbook as well as other textbook produced by other press. So I use the textbook mainly. The reason why the lecturers agree that the high quality textbook provide a good foundation for curriculum structure, and they can offer a familiar routine to students in lessons. So it's mainly how I think the lecture teaching contents and the textbook contents do match each other. So it's very useful for students. So the reason why I use mainly use text from the textbook, that is because do match each other, the teaching content and textbook content. And textbook provide concrete samples of classroom progress, so a student can follow the progress. A textbook can serve as a syllabus. So we all have 15 lessons in the one semester, but textbook also have 15 chapters normally. So textbook can serve as a syllabus and all the progress with the same as the book. So and provide a ready-made teaching text and learning task. So that is why we are using the textbook. And without a book, the lessons can be out of focus. So I think in the e-learning content, the textbook play an important role for developing the good course, I think. And also preparation before recording. The second, we needed to choose a teaching method. We can teaching sitting in a table, or standing with a whiteboard, or discussing with the guest speakers. So we can see the video together, how we do. So before meeting with the producer for recording, I have to choose what method I can use. Depending on that, we can develop the course differently. Okay, if I choose sitting at a table, the producer prepared that program, and I want to standing with the whiteboard, the producer consider it. So I choose one of those. So you can see the video. So why consider standing? Normally, most of the professors prefer standing rather than sitting down. The reason why students prefer standing, teaching in standing, that is a reason returning to a situation more similar to in-person teaching, they think. So returning to a situation more similar to in-person teaching, in standing teaching is better than sitting down. And also, when we teaching in standing with the whiteboard, the more we can convey more energies, greater ability to convey energies, more energetically we can teach it rather than sitting down. So if we're sitting down at the table, it is easier to relax rather than standing. So it's the reason why students prefer standing. So why consider also conversation lecture with guests? The many lectures has the invited guests, and they share their ideas and some content. So the guest will deliver something to students by discussing and sharing ideas with the lecturers. That is why we do this conversation lecture as well. As we can see the video together. this is a teaching. So, what is a physiological disorder in the strawberry? So but we have that board in Adobe, and this is ending. So I can more focus on the materials than sitting down. The standing, I can use more materials and focusing on the materials than sitting. That is, yes. So you can also write it on the note. Ending lecture is. And the conversational lecture can share with the speakers and deliver the contents with the speakers. And the third, the preparation before recording the third, we needed to choose the inserting additional materials like external video and quizzes. The external video is normally I try to link to other research institute or other companies. External video, I can add the link, and if students click the tab like advanced study, they can see all the contents that educational video produced by or created by other national research institute or other companies. But before using the external video, DMC get the permission from the company or national research institute. So there is no other problem. So we needed to get the permission before using it. And also we added the quizzes. So in the every lectures or lessons, we add 4 to 5. So students, while they are listening the e-learning lectures, they do that on the net. The quizzes on the net, they can solve the quizzes. So next is, yes, why inserting the external video and quiz? There is a link to an educational video that will play when the student click a tab or advanced study. That is important, the advanced study. So the more knowledge or extended some knowledge we want to give students, that the e-learning class, the lesson, the recording is not enough. So we give a link, the permitted link, and students get the information more than this lecture. So we do this, and also students can be encouraged to take a quiz during a lesson. The quiz is not actually not very helpful to understand all the story of these lessons, but just while they are solving the quiz, they can be encouraged to the more contents. So we do this. So you can see the video. Yes, students click the advanced study, and that is with the national teacher. It shows how the bees to work for the pollination of the flower with tomato. So they can learn more than and they learn and about more than us. And at the quiz, the students get the answer and they show that it's correct or not. So put it together. If they wrong answer, they know that twice. They show the messages is wrong. They show the description wrong. And trying to increase, and they can be encouraged to and getting to more the lessons. This is correct answer. After finishing all the quiz, you can see next page is a summary. So I have to choose before developing the class. I have to choose all the contents of what I want to input in the course, online course. The summary I need, the quizzes I need, advanced study I need. I want to teaching in standing. The older contents, I have to think about it. And yeah, this process can be conducted prior to meeting with the producer for course development. Yeah, that's it. It's finished. Thank you. Sorry for some technical mistake.
So, okay, I wish that you've enjoyed a lot with Professor Chen's presentation. I hope so. And as it's a kind of training program, it would not be very easy. And I think that that's very normal with the training program. With the help of Professor Chen's presentation, I want to continue mine because as you've just checked the list, which was distributed as the form of e-pamphlet, and as you've just watched what's going on with KNOU's DMC, Digital Media Center, and you've just checked the result, the online classes on the Professor Chen's presentation, but actually she already wanted to tell you that before the recording, there are so many things that you should know and you should understand and to prepare most of all. Let me just continue and success Professor Chen's presentation with the e-pamphlet criteria. So I want to ask you if you are already very satisfied with your lectures. Are you satisfied? I want to ask you, who can tell me, is there someone who's already very satisfied with your lectures? I want to know. Is there anyone who can answer? I think that it's very normal that everyone would be very reluctant to answer to this question because it would be very hard to be very satisfied with his or her own lectures. So I think that your reaction is very normal. And I think that as you've already checked the list, actually maybe you did not very well understand how can we motivate students and make their interests continued until the end of the class, and how can make them focus on the classes, and what kind of strategies we can use. Actually, there are so many things that we can do. So for example, for me, recently I used a sudden quiz. It's not normal quiz. Actually, you've already watched the normal quiz forms on Professor Che's presentation. But I use a sudden quiz. So we don't know when the quiz come out. But I really prefer this kind of form because that can make students really focus on the classes. Otherwise, they can just lose time. For example, I also use PhotoTune. Actually, nowadays in Korea, kind of new culture, which is called webtoon. It's kind of tune on web. So it's very popular in Korea. So I use PhotoTune instead of webtoon because webtoon writer, they are so expensive to cooperate with. So instead of webtoon, I use PhotoTune to provide lots of keywords. So I use this kind of new forms. So to motivate students, we can use several types. Some of them are very traditional, but some of them we can create other forms because we use online classes. So it really depends on you, but you should know it's recommended. So it's not required. So you should know that can be very important. That's also very important, but is recommended. And for the next, actually we have to meet producer. In KNOU, we meet producer to build up, to produce the main contents which should be very suitable to our goal. So to build up, to arrive at this goal, actually we have to discuss with producer. So it's not instructor, it's not only instructor who decide what we decide to the teaching and learning strategies. So this kind of discussion is already shown. We have already watched through Professor Che's presentation. And for the next, actually, all of 3 criteria is required. So it's really, really important, this part. Actually, we should know to arrive at the our goal. Is this we have to choose whole contents, very crucial. So to arrive at this goal, this part is also discussed with producer before beginning the recording. And especially in case of KNOU, actually Professor Che, she focused on the textbook. She really emphasized the role of textbook Actually, for us, the textbook, normally we publish a whole textbook at least 1 month, more than 1 month before the recording, the online classes is launched. So for us, at this step, we already check with the help of KNOU Press. We know if we choose the main crucial contents to arrive at the goal of this e-learning. So for us, it's really at the beginning, even before the beginning of the recording. So before the recording, this point is already resolved for us. And at this point, for the accuracy, actually, the errors or misunderstanding, no instructor will welcome those things. But the problem is sometimes it happens. And when we find some errors or misunderstanding, what can you do? Some students can be very angry with that. The problem is that actually no one wants it, but sometimes it really happens. So to solve this problem, actually, we should have kind of interaction. We should have a place of good conversation between instructor and students. So for us, that part is really, really important. So even we have administration support to resolve this kind of a problem when you arrive, when we find kind of errors or misunderstanding. And here for the ethics, it's very subtle part, but we have to confront it nowadays. So for this criteria, we should know is also required. It's not recommended. So we should be very take care of handling this kind of subjects nowadays. And for the third part, as those parts are easily can be seen on website. So this part, we can say that that can be handled quite easily, and we can just check it on the website. For example, what kind of planning you provided, and if you had orientation for your own class, etc., you can check it, and students too. And for the goal of the e-learning contents, students have to check it immediately and very concretely. So for this, we provide every goals with the style of you can do this and this one. So it's obligation for us. With this goal, you can do this and this one after finishing this study. So for us, it's very important So we have to strictly follow this construction. And for this one, actually, we normally at the end of online class, we attach the note. So it's also required. And for the next is recommended part for the keywords or the explanation of the keywords. We can also very easily check on the website. And for quiz and answers, and even the feedback for the wrong answers is also very needed. They are not required, is recommended, but anyhow, it's also very helpful for students. And for references, I think that you already know it very well. And for additional menu, actually, well, we can let students consider and reconsider about what we've studied for today. And we can also let them discuss together, and we can post them some homeworks, etc., and let them study more, considering about the characteristics of the subjects. So we can offer them lots of menu here. And for the next part, actually, maybe some of you will pose a question, is reliable font size is so important? Yes, actually, we sometimes pose that kinds of question too. Actually, this part is you just you can check it. Is not recommended. Is required. Actually, I've already shown you that for us in KNOU nowadays, the most important media is mobile phone. Mobile phone, the screen of mobile is not big enough. So lots of students, they just focus the small screen of mobile phone. And if there's an font size irregularity arrives, they just can lose their interest on these contents. So this criteria is very important nowadays. And as the multimedia materials like images or video clips, when we offer those things, actually technical problems easily arise. Sometimes it's really inevitable, but we have to check it as many as possible. So for us, it arrives too, but anyhow, it's just like the errors which I've discussed you before. If we, if this kind of problems happens, we should apologize immediately to students, and we have to correct all problems immediately, as as quickly as possible too. So actually, no one wants to have those kinds of problems, but when this kind of problem arrives, how can you handle it is a really important part. And for the next part, I think that the reliability or running time and writing, you've already watched it with the video clip on the presentation of Professor Che. And the instructor's position, yes, is also very important, but all of them are kind of recommended part. But and for the for the running time, actually for a moment in Korean standard, we have 45 minutes for one class, for one time of class. Actually is Korean standard. So every country has their own standard. I don't know how many time duration you have in Mongolia, but anyhow, in Korea, we want to adjust now. But for a moment in Korea, as KNOU, we fix the time duration as 45 minutes. So in Korea, it's the standard. So if it's possible, I want to hear about Mongolian standard too. And for the last part, actually, this part is nowadays, it gets importance more and more. Actually, for every references or every materials we used, we have to make clear where they came from. So nowadays, it's not just a problem of our preference, it's legal problem. So we have to check it. And we just, Professor Che, she showed you about the textbook, but we also offer kind of documents on the class, on the online class. So in that case, when student prints it out, we have to check if there's some errors or illegible characters are inside. We have to check it. So that's also kind of requirements. And for the last criteria, we offer an orientation. So with the orientation, actually, a student can check what kind of course they will learn and they will listen. And besides orientation, we also offer every first class of every subject. So not only students of KNOU, but everybody. Even in Mongolia, you can watch the first class of every subject of KNOU. You can just check it. And I think that this kind of orientation or pre-offering of a class that can be also very helpful for students. And other person who will be very interested with KNOU online class. So that's the detailed explanation about the checking list. So I hope that now you understood more why we prepared that kind of checklist, and why every criteria was built like this. So with this deep understanding, maybe you can make kind of your own expectation about your new online class. So for the e-learning contents, we can check those three parts must be come together. So first of all, we have to consider about students' motivation. If we cannot offer very strong motivation nowadays, especially young generation, they very easily lose their interest. They just cut down. They do not want to see anymore. They just want to watch 5 minutes or 6 or 7 minutes video clip, and they cannot get any motivation. That's all. We cannot continue our classes. So to give stronger motivation, we should consider about goal consciousness and the habit of studying and unremitting efforts and concentration. Concentration means concentration of students. We have to put students on the center of our interest. And with this motivation, we have to consider about interaction for the next step. For the interaction, as we offer all online contents, we already have a professor-students interaction, but we also check about the interaction between students can be easily happen. And every student, actually, when we open an online course, if we have 50 students, we can say that we have 50 classrooms, because nowadays every student, they stay just at home. So when he or she, one student, stay at his or her own home, that's one classroom. So these students can also interact with the contents we offer. We have to consider it. Otherwise, students can easily fail. They cannot arrive at the goals we've just expected. So to achieve those goals, we have to consider about design. Design is not to be prettier or more beautiful. Design is a whole, it really means whole process to arrive at the goals, what we expected. So with learning materials and books, or sometimes ebooks and video contents, and at the final, we have to evaluate. So we should consider about it. So in KNOU, we have guideline for online course development and implementation. So it begins with design. Is the stage where the course goals and objectives are defined, and teaching and assessment methods are determined. So is the design is the real start. And then we can move to the next step. So at the stage of development, a course can be planned during the design stage, goes into production. And this development stage, at this stage, we still have to consider about test. And with the test stage, we can use several types like self-test, final test by Digital Media Center, or pre-test and user test, etc. So here at this stage, courses are registered in online platforms and tested. And after the test, we can have another development stage. So here, courses are open to learners, and high quality learning experiences are supported while the courses are being managed. So now I can say that as a successor of Professor Che, I can show you the whole stage, what is under the recording. So here you can check before the recording, we have so many steps. And actually all the items, actually we still have very specific samples or plans, etc., but they are too long. So here I do not want to share those things, but anyhow, before recording, actually we need producer subjects allocation. So normally one producer normally produces 4 or 5 subjects per semester in KNOU. And actually we here in KNOU, undergraduate course is consisted of 1 prime subject and 15 lessons. And for graduate course, it's a little bit different because they need specific tests or discussion, etc. They have lots of activities. So for graduate course, it's consisted of 1 subject and 13 lessons. So here, anyhow, what kind of online class they will make? Anyhow, producer subjects allocation is very needed, and it's the first stage. And next, the preliminary investigation. So meeting with professor is the next stage. So here we have lots of annexes, but if you are interested with it, we can offer it later. But anyhow, it's too long. So let me just shortly say that here, actually, professors and producer, their collaboration is really the key point to arrive at this goal. So here they can arrange at the end of this stage, they can arrange the recording date. And for the prior preparation for recording, for example, for undergraduate course and graduate school and prime college, basic development plan proposal is needed. So here, what they prepare can be also can be seen, is also provided to students later. And here, as DMC, they have lots of template sample. We can use it. So that can lessen professors' effort to find out a very suitable template with which they can design their own classes. So here we still have lots of efforts to design. And actually, after having finished those things, we can arrive to the recording stage. So here, recording is not very simple thing. So here we also have several steps. And here, for example, we need cast, producer, here producer, and here also producer and engineer. And here also producer, engineer, cast. Cast means you already through Professor Che's presentation, you watch the speaker. They are specialists, and sometimes we invite students too. So sometimes students they just watch the results of classes which we've already produced, but sometimes they participate as a cast. So very complex and very diverse kind of co-work is needed at this stage of recording too. And for the edition, if you are interested in edition, you can also participate in the next week's faculty training program too. That will be given by Mr. Song next week. And after the edition, the evaluation and upload happens. And then for us, archiving stage is also very important. So we accumulated lots of original video, master video, etc. Not only for PPT or materials. And for others, we have several team leaders. So they play the role of contents manager, and sometimes they calculate production cost as budget is so important. So it's also a very important part for us. And we need producers' education too, as the technique development is too fast nowadays. So that's the rough stages of producing. And for good design, better design, I want to tell you that nowadays at KNOU, we are using UKNOU campus, UKNOU campus. And we can say that it's kind of ubiquitous portal education platform for contents delivery and automated assessment learning activities. We provide customized education services. So sometimes we use big data processing tool. So you can watch big data processing with the presentation of Dr. Kim later today. So we want smart education. So based on smart learning, we want those intelligent, customized teaching and learning support system to bring change across education, including new pedagogy, curricula, assessment, and teachers. And that will be required by a knowledge society in the 21st century. For the basic concepts which we use in KNOU, you can watch those two parts. So we are using KNOU learning portal system, but we still use learning activity and assessment system too. So as we watched DMC part, maybe you may think that, oh, the DMC part must be the heart of KNOU. For this one, I can say maybe yes, maybe no, because DMC can be one of our characteristics, but they are not, they do not represent all of KNOU. So the most important is that we are using campus system. I posed a metaphor with producing a car. So for a learner, normally they use PC or mobile. Some of them still watch by television, but the ratio is not very big. But anyhow, we still know DMC plays a very crucial role in KNOU. But anyhow, we using cloud system, and with the production, we are using archive too. So if we say very shortly, we can say that we are using that kind of campus system. So for you, actually, you are instructors, but anyhow, you have to understand what's happening with your system. It's still very important because through this kind of system, this kind of belt, students arrive, they receive the result. They only watch the online class, but it's really the tip of an iceberg. It's very small part. For instructors, they have to understand whole system. So what kind of system you want to construct, it really depends on you. For us, actually, we already made synchronized of a student's PC and personal computer and mobile. So it's already responsive and adaptive. But for us nowadays, mobile first is very important. So as mobile is first and personal computer second. So with this situation, we have to change lots of things. As on the PC, the size is like that, but on mobile, the result, the contents which students can see is really different from the PC size screen. So instructors, you should have to take care of this part. And for the convert individual production system into mobile-based standards, actually, what kind of standards we are using is also very important. The user, the student can check his or her learning activities on UNO campus, as well as the purchase history. They can purchase their classes, and they can check his or her learning progress rate here, like that. So where I've arrived for a moment, they can check immediately. So we can recommend learning progress rate of the courses he or she takes. So if they are too late, we can push them to follow up of average students like that. So they are all in the mobile-based standards, and students can visit the website of a course by clicking on the learning menu per course is here. So they can arrive very easily of the references, ebook, or home pages of a professor, etc. And students can open a window to watch lecture by clicking. Just click one and on the name of the lecture per course. So it's really easy to access. And for a moment, the web standards, HTML5 is our standards. So it's also very important, but it's for technicians. But anyhow, if instructors, they also should know what kind of standards technically will be used. So they can match up with this kind of technical standards too. And with the big data processing system, I think that Dr. Kim will give you a very beautiful presentation for that. And the feedback is also very important. So student can participate in KNOU Learners Readiness Assessment by clicking on the Learners Readiness Assessment button. So it's also very easy to use. And students also can evaluate his or her learning capability and environments through the KNOU Learners Readiness Assessment, and can get learning guides customized to his or her needs after the assessment. And now, actually, for students who have already finished a course, we can recommend other courses, other contents customized to each students. So in order to see the recommended contents tailored to oneself, students need just log in. And once they log in, actually before the login, the user only sees the contents recommended by the website manager. But after login, with one click, the user will be able to see the recommended contents customized to his or her own topics of interest. So that's what we offer for a moment. And for the motivation, actually, it came at the beginning of the e-pamphlet pre-test. Actually, motivation is so important. So in KNOU, to motivate more students, we use kind of user level and trophy system. So students can check his or her user level in accordance with the number of lecture viewing hours. If they are more interested with the subject, maybe they will watch more. And students can set up his or her profile by selecting one of the trophies. They can use trophies. Here, this student didn't get any trophy. I'm so sorry. But anyhow, that are given in accordance with the attendance rate and target achievements. So the homepage itself is very simple, but anyhow, it contains so many things inside. For instructors, we need to really deeply understand what's going on, what kind of system we construct, we build up. That can be the point of this training program. And I wish that lots of instructors who participate in today's program, now you understood quite well why lots of criteria was needed to design to be suitable to the goal where we want to arrive. So it's time of a Q&A time. I want to know if you have any question now. Otherwise, I'm afraid that as time has passed, okay, time's up, I think. So if you have any question, we can share it later. So how about having coffee break for 30 minutes? Is it good?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So as we've already planned, how about return back at 14시 30분?
한 14시.
거기서는 14시.
지금 15시니까요.
아, 10, 그럼 15시 10분.
지금 14시 30분.
거의 14시 30분?
네,
그러니까 15시까지. 15시 10분. 15시 10분이라고.
15시면 됩니다.
15시. 오케이. 15시. Okay, how about we come back by 15, by 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock Mongolian time. Is it okay? Okay, let's have 30 minutes. Yeah, good, great. Yeah, coffee break. Okay, see you soon.